Hello everyone, it's the Durpog here again, coming at you with another video. This time I'm making an infomercial video. It's on the game of the blue spheres. I I decided to do some background on the game, so I've created it into a little presentation. I hope that everyone from experienced players or just novices, so everyone can play. So we first start out with the history. It first appeared in Sonic 3 and Knuckles as the 16 special stages. That's how you can get more points in Sonic 3 and K, by playing these special stages and becoming powerful characters. The game was due to a technical palette error of trying to put Knuckles into Sonic 1. Instead of Knuckles into Sonic 1, they decided to make blue spheres, which would be explained throughout this presentation. But there is a hack on the website that I use. It's called Knuckles and Sonic 1. So the basics. Even patterns derive odd number color schemes, while all odd derive even number schemes. There are 16 different color schemes. There are also 128 different patterns, or quadrants, numbered from 0 to 127. Only quadrants 125 through 127 cannot be quadrupled. 125 and 126 can be doubled one way. 125 can be doubled except for this D over here. And 126 can be on the right, A and B. Over here, this is the map for each of the pattern, for each level. And pattern 127 can on the top right corner here, A. See, here's the proper level layout. C, A, D, and B. It is possible to have these numbers in quadrupled, but you'll get an unknown level, but a stage number, which you cannot play. Also, you can put odd and even together, but it'll be the same result. So levels go up to the 27th power, but they start repeating at 128,016,001. And the level on the level map it'll say and 1. However, the stages are double the amount of the levels, but you subtract 1. But only handfuls can be played at a time. And here's a couple more things. The game was made in 1994 by Sega and the Sonic team, and the original console was for the Genesis. Okay, all the math behind the levels. There is a website for calculating the math for you, which will be explained later. The following to determine levels mathematically is shown here. Tile C, the top right, or left tile. For perfect, you add multiples of 50, then subtract 76. For non-perfect, you add 5 until you're at the top, and then subtract 121. Tile A, which will be facing when you start a level. You add 10, and then subtract 118. And then for non-perfects, you add 1 and then once you reach 127, you subtract 127. Tile B, the tile behind you, or the quadrant behind you when you start a level. You add multiples of 30 and then subtract 97. For non-perfects, you add 3 until you can't, then subtract 124. Tile D. For perfects, you add 70 and then subtract 55. Non-perfect, you add 7 until you can't, and then subtract 118. So here's it explained in visual, and down here the equation for this difficulty. And I'll put this presentation in the description. Controls. It's for the Genesis. It's A. You hold down A, B, C, and then hit start. Then buttons that you hold down are the jump, and the D-pad is to move. The Xbox, you start up Sonic and Knuckles. Make sure you have Sonic 1 downloaded. Go to Extras, and then Blue Spheres. And then the normal Xbox buttons are used to jump, the D-pad and joysticks to move. If you're on a computer, search for it online or start up your emulator. And then basically set your jump keys, and arrow keys are used to move. Each level has a 12-digit password, like displayed here, like level 9000. You can alter the password to play other levels, and remember, beating a level advances you 10 levels and shows you difficulties. These two websites I use to find codes for levels. Pattern warps. Note, this is for perfects. Non-perfects is explained on the next slide. It warps back to 2 for even and 7 for odd every 63 levels. A is 0 for even and 1 for odd every 664. D is 3 and 10 is for odd every 250. And then B is 1 and 4 for every 127. So level starts with 2, 0, 3, 1. So you hit 2 again at 631. 0 at 641, 3 at 251, and 1 at 1271. Non-perfects. It warps back to 2 for even, 7 for odd every 126 levels, 0 for even and 1 for odd every 128 levels, 1 for even and 4 for odd for every 127 levels. It's basically, yeah, and I can explain all, and it'll explain it all down here in the presentation when I send it out. So that's all the basic information for today. And one more thing, have a great day, and thank you for watching here. The presentation originally ends here, but I'll go forward to show you all the extra and data info that I collected. So here are all the color schemes. Scheme 1 and their quadrants. I even colored them by the colors. The average difficulty. So the average difficulties for each color is, the first one is 7, the second one's 7.5, third one's 6, the fourth, 5th, and 6th are all 7. 7th is 9, the 8th is 7.5, the 9th is 9.5, the 10th is 7, the 11th is 8, the 12th is 8.5, the 13th is 9, 14th is 10, the 15th is 9.5, and the 16th is 8.5. Okay, here are all the set difficulties for each of the quadrants or patterns. Notice that there are small ones with a difficulty of 0, and the largest I'd say is 2, a difficulty of 2. Here are all the color schemes originations. First 7 are from Sonic 3. Then we have, and the 8th one is the secret special stage from Sonic 3, so special stage 8. I even have the original one, because if you do a debug on the original one and get the secret special stage, it's different from the one colored in blue spheres. So the one in blue spheres is basically when you plug in Sonic 3 and Knuckles and try to play the special stages, this is the one you get. And then the next 7 are from Sonic and Knuckles, and then the 8th, and then the 16th is Sonic and Knuckles secret special stage. Okay, here is the D return slot. So I put a map on all these slides. So D is the right under C, so it's like diagonal from the start for the first 10 levels. So it'll go 3, 10, level 2 is 10, level 3 is 17, level 4 is 24, level 5 is 31, then 38, 45, 52, 59, and 66. You'll repeat at 251, 252, 253, and then basically so forth. Oh, and this is how you can find every level 30 patterns. Every level that ends in a 237 or 487 or 737 or 987 is where pattern 30 is in the D slot. That's why the famous level is 23,411,487. Okay, this is the B return slot. So the one right under the start. It's 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, 28. These are the longest, at 1270 levels. And there's nothing special this time. The control tiles, or the C tile, return slot. It goes 2, 7, 12, 17, 22. It basically adds up by 5s. And returns every 63 levels. And then finally A. It goes up by 1 every time. And these reappear every 64 levels. Occurrence of difficulty. So this is the difficulty of the first one. I did research to try and find which difficulties first appear within the first 134 levels of Blue Spheres. And apparently, 8 is the average difficulty. Max difficulty does not appear yet. So does difficulty of 1 and 2. The low difficulty of 4 appears once. Difficulty of 3 appears twice. The most is 7, 8, and 9, coming in at 24, 28, and 27. And then, yeah. Okay, now earlier today I did some research to see how many max difficulty patterns appear in the first 20,000 levels of the game. They appear 53 times. The first one being level 164, the 53rd level being 19,641. Here's all the list of levels that I found. Yeah, it's a lot. And I also made a graph, and it looks like a kind of a weird graph. It starts going up, and then going over, and then it keeps going up. And then once you got to like 18,000, it started to look like a normal line. And then this is the bibliography where I found all my stuff. So basically, that's the game. That's like a presentation from my point of view. I hope you guys enjoy it, and have a great day, everyone.